Hey, so I want to share a Bible verse with you that I really think all spiritual people should be aware of. And when you understand what this little verse says, it becomes this source of immense clarity and power in your life. It really just kind of changes the entire game of spirituality. If you've ever been overwhelmed or confused by all the crazy stuff you find in the spiritual world, then this just like cuts through all the noise and brings you back to the heart and simplicity of what the path of what life really is all about. And so this comes from the book of Proverbs, and it says, without vision, the people will perish. Now, the first thing you have to understand is, what does it mean when it says the people? Well, the people are you could say, the children of God. They're the quote unquote chosen ones. They are those who are made in the image and likeness of the Creator. And so when we are the people, we are like God. We are aware that we are creators. And what does it mean right now to simply become aware that your reason for being here is to create? That's literally why you were put on the planet. You're here simply to create something that comes from your essence, your soul, that unique expression of source that you already are. You're simply here to give voice to that, to bring that into form. And so when we are the children of God, when we are the people, we are connected to our souls. We're connected to the power of God. And so there's a place of clarity, of purpose, of power, the place where all of the spiritual gifts and spiritual power comes from is available to us when we are the people, the children of God. And so notice that if we're not the people, if we're not the children of God, we don't have access to that place of power. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. This is where they get confused. They make the mistake of trying to gain power, trying to manifest, trying to heal, trying to do all this stuff disconnected from their truth and their power and their true nature. Why are they disconnected? Because they don't have a vision. Without vision, the people will perish. If you don't have a vision, you are no longer being who and what you are here to be. So this is really key here. Imagine trying to do spirituality, trying to do life disconnected from the truth, the source, the power, the clarity, the joy, the wisdom, the peace, the love, the beauty that you are. Imagine trying to do all of that without that connection. And this is exactly what so many people in spirituality do. They don't even think about their vision. And so because they don't have a vision, then they perish. Their divine nature, they experience their divine nature as perishing, as disappearing. There's a term a lot of people use nowadays called being an NPC. I don't really like that term, but I'll use it for this video. Without a vision, it's like saying you become an NPC. You become someone who is simply on autopilot. Rather than creating your life, you're reacting to life. You're reacting to conditioning. You're reacting to trauma and all this kind of stuff. And what a lot of spiritual people think is that, well, because I'm spiritual, I'm no longer on autopilot. I may not have, but if you don't have the vision, then you're still the quote unquote NPC. And so there's a kind of spiritual autopilot that people get into where it's like, okay, I'm going to learn a new modality and I'm going to learn about this. Now I'm going to learn about this. Now I'm going to process this and I'm going to heal this. And I'm just going to keep doing all this spiritual stuff. And it's an autopilot of its own. I still don't have a vision. I'm still not up to something in this world. I'm still not creating. I'm still not tapping into my unique soul frequency, my unique soul purpose. I'm still not tapping into that signal and bringing it into form. I'm just searching. I'm just seeking the truth. I'm seeking enlightenment. I'm trying to heal, like all that stuff. There are times and places for those things, but it's when you're connected to vision. So without vision, the people will perish. Without vision, Without being in this moment, a conscious creator, a participant in this moment of creation, I fall asleep. I enter autopilot, and my divine nature is hidden from me. It disappears, seemingly. And so the beginning then is to come to find your vision. Can I connect to that? Can I go into the quiet space where I can tune into my unique signal, my unique soul frequency, and find out what is it that it wants to bring into existence? As soon as I do that, now my divine nature begins to be in play. Now inspiration, now creativity, now power, now my soul is involved in this world. It's no longer autopilot. Now I'm switching over to the soul. And that's what it's all about. Will I find my vision? Will I allow myself to experience my divine nature and simply do the work that I'm here to do? Bring into form that unique expression that only I can bring into form. So without vision, the people will perish. Find your vision, create that. That's what you're here to do.